Yoha! Yoha! Ahoy! Ahoy! That's strange. I said that backwards, didn't I? That's kind of like what we're about to read in this story. Potts Rebbor by D.B. Johnson. So let's dive into this book. Detective Chief Inspector Ronald Verso has lost his detective cap. He was wearing it when he left the station. But now the cap is missing. Has it been stolen? When the robber finally appears at his door with the missing cap, Verso launches himself backwards in hot pursuit. D.B. Johnson brings his bubbling but charming detective to life in this delightful romp through 1920s Paris. Let's get this story started. Lizette was boating on the river one windy day when a certain inspector's cap came floating down from the bridge above. She called out to the cap's owner, but he kept pedaling away, unaware that he had lost his cap. Lizette paddled ashore to return the cap, but he pedaled past in a great hurry. Perhaps he was racing home. Maybe he was tired from a long day of work. The address was printed inside his cap. 227 Rue Bonaparte, she told the taxi driver. Ahead of her, the cap's owner weaved among the trucks and buses. His airs must be chilly, she thought. Doesn't he know his cap is missing? Would he notice if she waved it from the taxi window? Look at her waving it. She's trying to return that hat, but I don't think he saw her. At his doorstep, a neighbor greeted him. I hardly recognize you, Inspector, without your detective cap, he said. Only then did Detective Chief Inspector Ronald Verso notice his cap was missing. Someone must have stolen my cap, he thought. In his tiny room, Inspector Verso warmed his ears in the tub tucked into the unused fireplace. He didn't hear the doorbell ring. He was blowing bubbles, wishing he could catch the robber and get his cap back. All at once, his door opened. I wonder who that is. When he jumped up to answer the door, he hit his head on the fireplace. Whoa, whoa, cried Verso, but his words sounded wrong. His watch made a strange ticking sound. Tock tick, and the bubbles he was blowing floated back into his pipe. That's strange, isn't it? But Verso didn't see his watch ticking time backwards. Look at the watch, it's ticking time backwards. He only saw a hand in the doorway holding his missing cap. And when he peeked around the corner, it was gone. The hand snatched his cap away. Potts Rebbor, he shouted. I wonder what he means by Potts Rebbor. If you can figure it out, leave me a comment. He must catch this robber. He jumped from his tub completely dry and put on his clothes. This can't be my clothes, he thought. The buttons are all wrong. He is putting his clothes on wrong. Outside, the robber slipped into her getaway car. Verso bounced onto his bicycle and wobbled down the street. This can't be my bicycle, he thought. Where are the handlebars? Where are the handlebars? They're behind him. He's riding his bike backwards. Verso saw the robber waving his cap, daring him to catch her. But the faster he pedaled, the further away she was. Finally, the taxi left the street and backed down to the river. The girl with his cap climbed from the getaway car into the boat. I will head her off on the bridge, Verso decided. Inspector Verso pedaled across the bridge. Potts! He shouted. And to his surprise, she stood up in the boat and threw his cap high in the air. Wow, look at the birds flying backwards. What's happening? It fluttered and floated in a great gust of wind that spun Verso and his pocket watch completely around. Suddenly, his watch began ticking forward again. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I think he solved his problem. This was unbelievable. She had thrown his cap back. Next time, you won't get away with stealing my cap, Verso shouted. That's strange. Did she actually steal the cap? No, she didn't steal it. It flew off of his head and she tried to return it, but then everything went all backwards. Well, that's the end of our book today, Pot's Rebbor. And again, if you can figure out what Pot's Rebbor means, leave a comment below. All right, until next time, see you soon.